All right, fam, today we're going to be talking all about technology and back-end systems and automations that you can add to your business. And this is a topic that can make a lot of people's eyes cross and you just feel really overwhelmed. And even if you don't, you're pretty tech savvy, there's just a lot of options to choose from. And it's hard to know what works best for our industry as professional organizers and also other home industry professionals.
I like to hear stories and get a feel for what this looks like IRL, your favorite client, where having these systems have significantly transformed a business.
Yeah, there's one in particular. She had a client initially sign on to work with her. I think the package was like $1,200. She gave him access to a client portal. It's a very fun little, you're part of the club type of thing. He was on the fence about doing another space. He messaged her, and I'll never forget this. This just looks so professional, and I am just so pleased with this entire process. Your organizing has been great, but your process of taking me through this has been so seamless, and I want to book another project with you. And it resulted in $4,500 more. Yes, she could have totally done that on her own, but maybe not as quickly because everything was so easy and streamlined. It just made the client feel like everything was straightforward. There was no guesswork here. So it really can not only improve your clients' trust in you and their experience with you and save you time, but makes you some more money too.
So we're going to unpack all of that because at the end of the day, these tools and softwares can help you make more money and save you a ton of time in running your business so that you can focus on the things that you actually care about, like organizing for clients and working with them, and worry a little bit less about some of the boring back-end stuff and kind of let those tools do the heavy lifting for you. So my guest today is going to be telling us exactly how to do just that. And she's got a ton of great gold nuggets that you're going to want to stick around for. I learned a lot in today's episode, so be sure to stick around and let's get into it. What's up and welcome to the Speak Organized podcast. I'm your host, Melanie Summers, professional organizer, ADHD organizing specialist, and your go-to gal for all things pro organizer business. I like to speak organized to give you the tools to conquer your clutter, live life with more purpose, and learn all about the business of tidying. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, take out your device and tap the subscribe button so that you become a member of the Speaker fam. As you get value out of today's video, if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and tap that thumbs up and the notification bell so that you're notified when we post new content every single week. And if you are an Apple Podcast user, you can leave us a rave 5-star review, which will allow us to grow and meet more amazing folks just like you. If you're looking for a little bit of community and just a place to start to get your questions answered, then I encourage you to join my free Facebook group, and that link will be down in the description of the video and the podcast show notes. I'm hanging out in there every single week, and I would love for you to join us. The main mission here at I Speak Organized is to give you the best quality tools and resources to level up your business and have a truly successful 6 or 7-figure business that doesn't suck away all of your time. So if you're brand new to all of this and it seems very overwhelming, you don't really know where to start, you have come to the right place. I am your go-to gal for all things pro-organizing business. If you're afraid that you aren't enough, like you don't have enough experience or you don't really have the goods to bring to the table to charge what other people charge, or whatever story you happen to be telling yourself, I am here to help you understand that you can be exceptional with the right tools and training. So in just a few minutes, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about how I can help you with that. But in the meantime, let's get into this juicy interview.
All right, Speaker fam, please join me in welcoming the lovely Amber Barrett. She is the owner of Arranged by Amber. She's based in Maryland. She is a tech wizard and fairy godmother all in one. I think that's how you refer to yourself, and it's true. So Amber, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here too. It's been a while since I've seen you. I think it's been, gosh, maybe
Since September.
Yeah. Too long, sister. Are you going to be at H2 Summit this year?
Yeah.
Good. Then we'll get to see each other in a few months. I just booked my flight and my Airbnb yesterday, got all that stuff wrapped up. So we're ready to go.
Those hotels are booking out, so you got to jump on it.
I know. Yeah.
I'm excited.
We didn't even go the hotel route, but anyway, so yeah, I'm excited to see you. But I want to jump in. So I know that a lot of people listening and watching, they probably know who you are. Your name comes up on my coaching calls all the time. And so for people that don't know about you, they're going to need to get to know you. So I want you to tell me a little bit about your journey. So you actually used to be a professional organizer, right? And now you are a system strategist and tech expert. So can you explain what that journey was like and now what you do?
Yeah. Yeah. So back in 2018, I started my own organizing business, Arranged by Amber. So the name has not changed at all. And I feel like my story is very similar to everybody's. In the beginning, you're kind of tired of your 9 to 5. You just want to get out of the constant same day that you're living every day of the week, basically. And so, of course, I loved organizing. I did it all the time, all throughout childhood, it seemed like too. I did not make my Barbie dolls play with each other. I was too busy making their closets and their clothes and shoes look all nice. And so, I was just like, what am I good at? What could I try? So I just started as a side hustle just to kind of test the waters and see. And then it took off. And I quit my job 6 months after I started. And then I was drowning. I was just drowning because there was nobody else in my area doing what I did at the time. And so I did not know that this lovely online world existed, that you could get support from coaches and lean on each other. And so I was just kind of figuring it out. And I had a friend who was in a different industry as a business owner. And she was like, well, have you heard of Dubsado? Like, I feel like that could really help you out. And so I checked it out and I learned how to set it up. And I was like, this is a little bit more fun than I thought it was going to be. I really like this. It was kind of like digital organizing. So I set it up for my business. It totally changed how I operated and saved me so much time. So I just started sharing about it with other organizers. And here we are today. 2020 was the year where I really just went all in on helping others kind of set up their CRMs and tech with their businesses. And I still have my favorite organizing clients, that I still see every once in a while, but I don't market my organizing services anymore. So we're all tech over here.
That is awesome and very, very much needed. Like I said, all the people I talk to every single week are terrified of tech, most of them, or just kind of don't know where to get started. So I want to talk about some of your favorites. We'll get into all of that. But first, I know that you mentioned that you specifically focus on helping professional organizers stream their system. So I mean, I would assume that part of that is because you came from that world. I don't know if you work with other types of business owners as well, but what inspired you to focus specifically on our industry?
Yeah, I focused on the organizing industry, one, just because, I was an organizer. I feel like I really know the industry well. And I already had so many friends and contacts in the industry. But I also just felt like there was an untapped industry that didn't really have help. Everybody is always like, so you clean? That's what you do? You clean? So I was tired of, all the organizers being like, they don't get my business. I need help with this. So I just love the organizing industry, but I do work with, interior designers, lifestyle management, businesses as well. So still in the realm of household services and, trying to simplify and help make things pretty functional, all that good stuff. But yeah, I love my organizers. I'm not going anywhere else. I like this industry too much.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. We love you too. So this will lead perfectly into my next question because you did talk about making things pretty and functional. Obviously, that's extremely important in our industry where aesthetics are important, especially if you're working with higher end clients. The before and after effect is real. And so it's not always easy to be able to make something functional also aesthetically pleasing. So I think it's really smart that you market that as part of your services because it does tie into what we do so in integrally. So how do you balance the functionality and aesthetics with your design systems and clients? Tell us kind of how that works for you.
Yeah, so certainly we want to make sure it's functional, but the big like star of the show, I'll say, would always be people's proposals, right? Because that's typically what we're sending to clients when we're trying to convince them to hire us, especially if it's a big project. And so for our clients, if we're thinking of organizers, our clients are typically overwhelmed, they're stressed out, and they see the beautiful, like Pinterest perfect spaces that they wish their house could be. And there's nothing worse than staring at a proposal that is nothing but like 500 words, and you just feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want to, I don't want to read this. And so, um, as much as I want it to be pretty, and they are, I also want it to convert. And so I found that, adding that pretty element to these types of proposals for this industry not only makes it more enjoyable for both parties, the business owner and the client, but they really get to see that, like, oh, my space could actually look like this. It really helps drive home that if this is the look that you want, then we are capable of making that happen. So it really makes the conversions even higher as well. So we definitely try to marry the two. Obviously, I will take functionality over design, but we do make sure that that is something that we really try to pay attention to.
Yeah, absolutely. And semi shameless plug, you do a lot of these setups for clients. So I know that you offer two really special things. One of them is the Dubsado done for you, and one is HoneyBook done for you. So before we get into that, I would like you to just briefly unpack what those systems are and what they're capable of doing for our business. And then we can talk a little bit about how you help clients set those systems up.
Yeah, so HoneyBook and Dubsado are both CRMs, client management software systems. They basically keep everything under one roof. Your clients' information, contracts, proposals, emails. Some even do text messages now. HoneyBook just came out with text message reminders for appointments. Everybody is cheering for that one. So basically, it just streamlines your entire client side of your business. It can also do a little bit of team depending on the type of CRM you have. But if we're speaking mostly about Dubsado and HoneyBook, then it can help you manage a little bit of your team. So it helps that you're not writing down, a sticky note here and a note in your phone here and a voice note to yourself here. Everything is just found in one place, and you can really easily see where each of your clients is in your pipeline so nothing falls through the cracks.
Okay, very cool.
Okay, pop quiz time. How would you feel 6 months from now if you were sitting in this exact same spot, sipping on your favorite beverage, running your own professional organizing business, and it was booked out with amazing clients that get you excited to get out of bed in the morning? How would that make you feel? But let me guess, there is something holding you back, right? Like that voice of imposter syndrome that whispers, who am I to do this? Well, let me tell you, I have been there, and it is not only possible to overcome those fears, it's essential because your future clients need somebody exactly like you. And remember that I am here to help you with proven tools and strategies to get you where you want to be in this industry if you're willing to follow my lead. My brand new mini course From Overlooked to Overbooked is designed to help you overcome your imposter syndrome, turn your website into a client magnet with SEO strategies that actually work, skyrocket your social media presence without that uncomfortable buy my stuff energy, and confidently network like a pro, all while building genuine connections that feel as natural as making friends. It's all self-paced and comes with a workbook full of done-for-you scripts and templates that are proven to generate leads, help you sound confident, and convert all of that into cash in your wallet. And if you want to get paying clients in the door faster, you can also pick up my done-for-you Pro Organizer Forms pack designed specifically for professional organizers with 9 custom templates, including a client agreement, payment authorization form, follow-up email scripts, and so much more. You use a free Canva account to add your business info, branding touches, and then you're basically ready to go for your next project. And as a special gift for being an amazing part of my speaker fam, you're going to get $8 off both the Overbooked course and my Pro Organizer Forms pack using code YTPRO8 at checkout. All that info will be down in the description and the podcast show notes. Lastly, if you're kind of nervous about taking payments for jobs and you know you need to take cards from clients, then I have got a tool that is going to make your day. Project to Payment is my favorite invoicing and customer management tool that's actually easy to use. With just one tool, you get paid faster, create seamless professional customer experiences, and you get access to estimates, invoices, payments. They've got super fast payout for a healthy cash flow, QuickBooks integration, and to top it all off, you get the best and friendliest US-based customer support to walk you through any hiccups or questions. And there's so many more features that they have coming online every single month. You work hard to organize for your clients, so doesn't your business deserve the same? Obviously, the answer is yes. And so Project to Payment is only $20 a month, and they have the most competitive and transparent processing fees in the industry. And trust me, I have tried them all. And if that weren't enough, when you go to projecttopayment.com/ispeakorganized, you're going to get 3 months completely free just to try it out. So you're welcome. That's it. No more reinventing the wheel. These resources are plug and play and allow you to access what works while avoiding the pitfalls as much as possible. Remember that investing in yourself is the first step to showing your clients that they should invest in you. So don't let another moment pass you by to become the business owner that your future clients need. You're only one decision away from becoming booked, busy, and well-equipped to crush it in the professional organizing industry.
So this all sounds great, right? Like in theory. I mean, at least it does to me. But then I know there's other people listening and watching today that are going to be like, their heads are just already swimming, and there might be some assumptions in play here. There might be some resistance to this process. I know there's misconceptions and challenges. So what are some common things that you're finding people are facing when it comes to automating their business process, and how do we kind of bust through those objections?
Yeah, I think the biggest one is people being afraid of tech. I think a lot of my clients come to me where they either tried it themselves and they've just wasted too much time on it, or they really are just like, oh my gosh, there's so many moving parts. I don't know how to go about this. So while I'm very big on pushing CRMs because I think they're so powerful for businesses, they aren't right for everybody. And I do tell clients it's okay if what you're doing right now is working for you. And if that is a pen and paper and printing documents, even though it might slightly kill my soul just a little bit, it's okay. You have to do what works best for you. So maybe it's not right for everyone, but the tech aversion piece is definitely big, which is why we really try to like help train and make sure everyone feels really comfortable with their setup. But besides that, I think it's, you know, the client communication side is probably another big issue for some people because, again, if you're looking at it as a professional organizer, their clients are people that are overwhelmed. They don't always check their email. And so a lot of these CRMs are very email heavy, which is why people are getting more excited about the text messaging pieces. And I'm sure there's a ton of CRMs out there. So there could be many that do text messages. But I think that's the major issue for a lot of people is I don't want to overwhelm my clients with emails, or I don't want to sound like a robot because we're automating everything. I want this to be personal. So there's a couple of those issues that tend to come up.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the last piece that you touched on, not making it sound too clinical, too robotic. AI obviously is a big component of that, and learning how to use that and prompt it correctly is super important. One thing I really love about your content, your templates, is that they do sound very fun. They have a voice to them. You're really good with the copy, and so it actually sounds engaging, like you're speaking to a real person. And so I know that's really important to you, and you talk a lot about on your website how you try to help your clients feel calm and confident about their system. So you did mention briefly that you do some training, you try to provide resources. And so why don't you just very briefly unpack what an ideal client workflow looks like and how you tailor those services to match your organizer's specific needs?
Yeah, so a regular or the most often type of client workflow I'll see is, we definitely want to make the inquiry process easier. So how are people reaching out to you and how can we get them to the next step? And it's often they need to book a phone consultation or an in-person consultation. So it's really utilizing that scheduler piece so that we can stop the back and forth of text messages or emails of saying, are you free this day? Are you free this day? And then, of course, that proposal piece, that booking phase is so important. So that's really where we spend a lot of time strategizing. So that's really common that we need to make sure we have the booking piece in place so that we're sending that proposal, that contract. We have follow-ups because there's nothing worse than you send a proposal and then you forget to check in on the client if they haven't accepted it. So we really try to be cognizant of adding those automated reminders to kind of check in with them, not be pushy, but just, you need anything, you have any questions. And then most importantly is the offboarding piece. So the ideal client workflow would have some automations checking in with the client after the project is done. Too many clients of mine just kind of end it there, and then they get busy with new clients, which is great, but you're missing out on your biggest advantage, which is past clients that have already loved working with you. So having an offboarding workflow where you can nurture them and ask, are there other spaces you need help with? Do you need a refresh? hey, we're here if you need us. We really spend a lot of time on that part as well. So those three main pieces, the inquiry booking and the offboarding, are vital to anyone's client workflow journey. And we really try to make sure that we take good care of the client through all of those phases, so they just feel, heard and at ease. Again, I try to make my clients feel at ease, but we want to make their clients feel at ease too, because this is a very deeply personal service. We're coming into people's houses and touching all their stuff. So we try to make it feel like, this is not stressful and we're not judging you. So that's always important.
Absolutely. And I can guarantee if I had to bet, 90% of the people watching and listening here do not have offboarding workflow in their pipeline. And so that is a gold nugget tool. So everybody listening, please take notes, come back and watch that again. That's super important, and a great tip. So I like to hear stories. We like to chat and and get a feel for what this looks like IRL. So if you can think of a success story, whether it's personally your favorite client or any example that you can give us where having these systems that you've put in place have significantly transformed a business client's operation, I would love to hear. All ears on that.
Yeah, there's one in particular. I had a client that we did set up for. She probably had her new Dubsado system and workflows running for about 2 or 3 weeks at this point, and she had a client initially sign on to work with her. I think the package was like $1,200 is what she sold this person. And then as he was going through the process of working with her, she gave him access to a client portal, which not everyone uses a client portal, but it is a very fun little, like, you're part of the club type of thing. He messaged her because he was on the fence about doing another space. He messaged her, and I'll never forget this because I have the screenshots. I always look at it when I need that little like boost. He messaged her and he was like, "This just looks so professional, and I am just so pleased with this entire process. Your organizing has been great, but your process of taking me through this has been so seamless, and I want to book another project with you." And it resulted in $4,500 more. So it's one of my favorite stories because yes, she could have totally done that on her own, but maybe not as quickly because everything was so easy and streamlined, and it was beautiful as well. And it just made the client feel like everything was easy to access. Everything was simple. Everything was straightforward. There was no guesswork here. So it really can not only, improve your clients' trust in you and their experience with you and save you time, but makes you some more money too. So
Absolutely. Like two very important things that we don't want to gloss over here from our perspective as the business owner is making more money and saving you time, which to me, honestly, is the most important thing because there are so many different things that we need to keep track of. And I use the phrase, you got to stop shooting on yourself because just because you can do all of these things yourself really doesn't mean that you should, especially if you have somebody like Amber in your pocket that's going to teach you how to automate all of these processes to do that for you, your clients are happy. You're able to focus a little bit more on what you like to do, which in most cases, the actual organizing part, it's not all this like kind of technical nitty gritty back end stuff, but it is so important. So I'm actually going to flip the last two questions that I had for you out of order here. Because I know there are still skeptics out there that fear the technology, that it might depersonalize their services. We talked a little bit about that a second ago. I'm wondering if you can just give us an example of how you enhance rather than detract and add that personal touch to your automation. So what does that look like? How can we begin that process?
Yeah, I think making it customizable to the client is important for certain parts of the client journey. So, for instance, if someone's reaching out to you on a contact form and you just want to quickly automate that email that they get or that message they get once they fill out the contact form, that does not need to be super personal. You just want to let them know, hey, I got this and I'm going to get back to you. Now, the message that you send after that, you might want to make personal because they might have had an unfortunate death in the family, and that's why they're contacting you to get rid of this person's belongings that they need to go through. So you certainly don't want to be like, can't wait to work with you. So excited that you contacted us. That might not make a lot of sense to do. But a very general, hey, thanks for reaching out. We've received your message. We're going to get back to you soon is perfectly fine to be general. So you kind of have to pick and choose where you want to be automated and where you want to have more of a personal touch. And on those areas that you might want to have a more personal touch, it doesn't mean that we can't template things. So for a lot of my clients, when we're about to send the proposal, that is a step that never gets automated. We have everything up to that point automated. We've got the proposal template, we've got the email that's going to go with it, but there is always room for those customizations to say, we're so excited that you have a new baby on the way. We can't wait to work in this nursery for you, because those little touch points really do make all the difference, as opposed to sending, here's your proposal. Let me know if you have any questions. It will expire in 1 week. Nobody wants to have that message come to them, because again, this is a very personal service. You're coming into people's homes and lives and you're seeing all of their stuff. So it's kind of picking and choosing where those automations occur, and we just template as much as we can, and we allow for those tweaks to be made, because it's better to spend 2 minutes tweaking something than 5 or 10 minutes coming up, staring at a blank, email and then having to write it. So
Yeah, very simple and easy, and still able to have that human touch. I love it. So for people that are kind of thinking about automating their business, but are kind of unsure of where to start, just to kind of summarize what we've talked about and your best practices, what are the first steps that you would recommend?
I always like to tell people to try writing down, even if it's just for a week, all the different steps that you do in your business on the back end. So not the organizing, but what did you do on Monday? How many emails did you send? And what were those emails about? And it really helps you to see how much time is being spent on admin stuff or back end stuff of your business. Tally it up and see, is it worth hiring a virtual assistant or an admin? What's the cost of that going to be? Is it better to automate, where you can have a robot do something for you and you set it up once and you probably don't have to pay as much as a virtual assistant? And then probably also to just assess your time and your tech knowledge, because some people are very much DIY, and that's great. I'm one of them. But I also know to pick and choose my battles. So like I'm having my website redesigned. You don't want to see me doing that, because I'll spend forever on it and won't be good. So, if you're tech savvy and you feel like, what, I could do this CRM thing, then great. But it's also knowing, is it really worth your time, or is it better to just throw money at it and get it done? And so many of these CRMs have free trials now, so you could sign up for any of them and just get a feel for if you like the layout, if you feel like it's going to be too techy, too robust, or if it's more simplified for what you're looking for.
Beautiful. That's great. Great advice. There are going to be some opportunities to take advantage of a lot of these things that we talked about today, especially for people who are listening and watching. They're like, I need a little Amber in my life. So I know on your website, you offer some freebies. You, like, for instance, one of them I saw was your 5 crucial emails that every professional organizer needs. I would love for you to talk to me a little bit about that, and then just share some other ways that we can get in touch with you and work with you on this stuff to really take our business communication and back end systems to the next level.
Yeah, there's several freebies on my website, and I just mentioned it. It's getting redesigned, so there's probably going to be even more. But there's even a quiz that you can take too. So if you're unsure about what CRM might be right for you, there's just a quick, like, 5 to 7 question quiz that you can take. It spits out the answer of what CRM might be best for you. The emails are really great. I mean, nothing is worse than unclear communications for both the business owner and the client. So you can grab those emails for free. Yeah, I'm always here to help, and these CRM services are really meant to be tailored to each business. While I do work with a lot of organizers, and the process or pipeline of the client workflow might be similar, it's very customized to everyone's business, because everyone does something different. Everyone has a different communication style. Everybody has a different method or process. So it really is about catering to you, how we're going to best fit your clients, but also save you time. So these CRMs are meant to be helpful and save you time, impress your clients, and I'm there to make sure that it's set up correctly, makes you look good, save you time, and also make sure that you feel confident using those systems.
Awesome. Awesome. So, what is the website where we can come and check all this stuff out and see some additional things that you offer?
Arrangedbyamber.com.
Super simple. I imagine that's probably your social handle as well.
It's everywhere. Yeah.
Everywhere all at once, all the things.
Business name never changed, and I don't think we're ever going to change it. So
No, I think that it fits the brand perfectly. You're just arranging on the back end versus the front.
yeah.
And then just another quick note, because I know I've seen recently that you also are helping people improve their SEO on their website. So if
Yeah.
anybody watching and listening is struggling with that, Amber is an SEO wizard as well.
I worked in digital marketing for 5 years, so I did lots of SEO for lots of clients. So it's been fun to do it for organizers specifically.
Yeah, boost that visibility and get those five-star ratings and continue to grow that way is one of the best free marketing tools out there, in my opinion. So I just want to make sure to mention that as well. Awesome. Amber, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I know everybody's going to get a lot of value out of this and learn some new stuff. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, fam. As always, that's going to wrap it up. And I want to thank you for taking some time out of your valuable day to come and spend a little bit of it here with us at the Speak Organized podcast. It's truly an honor to have your time. Make sure that you check out all of the goodies down in the description of the video and the podcast show notes. Amber's information is there if you want to connect with her. My information is down there if you want to connect with me. You're welcome to book that one-on-one coaching call experience. I still offer those coaching calls, but my calendar, as you know, books out pretty far in advance. So be sure to get on the calendar before all the slots are gone for the month. And if you can't wait, remember that I have that opportunity to join my Overlooked to Overbooked course, which is 6 days worth of coaching on high-level strategies for less than the price of 2 one-on-one coaching calls. It's a steal. And I absolutely encourage you to take a look at that. Be sure to check out the Pro Organizer Forms Pack and all of the other things that are down there. The link to the Facebook group is there as well. And beyond all of that, if you haven't subscribed, please do that. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.